Hi class, welcome back. This is our final lecture in the memory chapter. This is on false memory. So my question to you is, true or false, memories are reliable records of reality? If we were in class together, we'd have a little discussion about that. I'm guessing that you're catching on that I wouldn't ask this unless it were false. It is absolutely not true that our memories are like recorders. They're not like a video camera that records everything that happens and then we can play the video back and see it and hear it and remember it exactly. That's not correct. Memories are very, very much constructed, and let's take a look at Elizabeth Loftus's work on false memories. So she is looking at what's called the misinformation effect. This isn't quite false memory like you're going to plant a memory in the same way that Inception, that they did in the movie Inception, but we can inadvertently or deliberately give people misinformation, and then that can cause people to change their memories and construct the memories in response to this new information. So eyewitness accounts, for example, this is what we're interested in particularly, can be altered by a variety of factors that follow an event to be recalled. So interesting research that she does on the misinformation effect is where she shows people a recorded video of a car crash, and then after they watch the video of the two cars and the crash, then the researcher with one group of people will say, how fast were the cars going when they contacted each other? And then a second group of people, they watch the video and then they're all asked, how fast were the cars going when they hit each other? Then they bring in a third group of people, and how fast were they going when they bumped into each other, collided, smashed? So we have 5 different treatment groups here. And what you'll find is that the average speed that was estimated is different based on which word was used in the question. Now remember, they all see the same video, so the visual input is the same, the memory should be the same, but the question, how the question is phrased, influences it quite a bit. So it ranges from 32 miles an hour at contacted to 41 miles per hour for smashed. So that one simple word change changes the reconstruction of the memory and changes the answer that they give. So the misinformation effect is a memory distortion phenomenon in which a person's existing memories can be altered if the person is exposed to misleading information. Now you can imagine that an officer who is investigating something, you know, who knows what the right word is? It would be very easy to inadvertently or deliberately change the information that is received. So would you believe that 25% of people who look at photoshopped pictures of themselves and are told that that actually had happened to them will form a memory for that fake event? So here's what they do. This is a pretty standard technique. This was developed again by Elizabeth Loftus. So let me first tell you Elizabeth Loftus's approach, and then I'll tell you the balloon study. So her approach is called the lost in the mall technique. And she would bring people into the lab and she would talk to their family members and get information about 2 real memories, 2 real events that had happened to them. And she would get a photo of each event. And then she would check with them that the person in question who was participating had never been lost in the mall. Never have been lost in the mall. So they know that that hasn't happened. Then they get a photo that they can Photoshop to Photoshop the person as a child with an older woman. And then they tell the person, they bring them in the lab and they say, here are 3 events, 3 memories that your family told us about. And they go through the 2 real ones, and then they go through the lost in the mall story. And the story there is that they were with their mother at the mall and they got lost and separated, and a kindly old woman helped them get back to their mother. And there's a photo of the child with this woman. And initially they say, well, I don't remember that. But by about the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time that they are brought into the lab to discuss these memories and asked, how much can you remember? About 25% of people will say that they remember being lost in the mall, and they'll add information. So same thing with the hot air balloon study. They get 2 real memories and photos, and then they Photoshop the person into a hot air balloon. And it looks pretty realistic. And they say, what do you remember about this? And most people initially say, well, I don't remember that. But then by days 2 and 3, they're telling you that there was a platform and that they were scared and that they held their dad's hand. So 25% of people will develop memories based on that kind of an effect, called the misinformation effect. So again, this is the work of Elizabeth Loftus. So pretty strong implications for police work, cases at trial, therapy, things like that. So some to keep in mind. All right, that's it for the memory chapter. I'll see you later. Bye.